Teddy boys differ from the mainstream society as their behaviours, beliefs, and identity was different to that of the norms and values of the mainstream society that were considered to be the normal. Their juvenile actions were what separated them from the mainstream culture, as their clothing and actions were unlike that of the general society. Although they do differ from the general society, the difference is not large. It is particularly the clothing style, music, norms and values that are the elements as to what separates youth subcultures like the Teddies away from the mainstream society. Sociologist Dick Hebdige discusses in his book Meaning of Style how post-war youth subcultures use style as a symbolic form of resistance. Throughout the novel, Hebdige also closely looks at the Teddy Boys and how their style had an influence on their youth subculture. Hebdige argues that style, through the subversion of common objects, allows Britain's subcultures to symbolically separate themselves from the mass culture to which they belong. He also examines the way in which style reflects and articulates the underlying principles of subcultures, both internally and in society. Their Teddy Boy style and fashion was very much their symbol of recognition, their uniqueness. Their style defined them. Their clothing style of the middle-class Edwardian dandy jacket was an attempt to show their contempt for the class system by copying the style of their so-called superiors. Ultimately, Hebdige concludes that style can't be understood outside of its context, conceding that none of the considered youth cultures would recognize themselves in the subculture. So what really is the usefulness of subcultural theories in explaining why some youths form subcultures in society? Subcultural theories are very useful in outlining and helping to better understand why some youths form subcultures. Particularly for the Teddy Boys, it was clear that their group was formed upon rebellion, which created the subcultural theory of juvenile delinquency. It is without youth subcultural theories that there would be no true meaning or basis to form a youth subculture.
Created using Powtoon.